Hello guys and gals, welcome back to Bikes Online. Today we're going to have a look at a new range of bikes that we're carrying. This is the Superior XF TR lineup of bikes. We're going to be looking at the 929, the 979, and the 999, all three of which are carbon fiber models, which means they're fancy. So stay tuned as we go over all three bikes. You're not going to want to miss this one.
The Superior XF TR is a European-made trail bike with 140mm of front travel, 130mm of rear travel, rolling on 29-inch wheels. Now let's see how it does on the trail.
We're off on the new Superior XF TR here, and while I ride this trail, I'm just going to tell you a few things about it. So all three models have the exact same frame, just different colors. What differentiates the two mainly is going to be the component spec in brakes, wheels, as well as drivetrains. Because interestingly enough, all three models have the exact same suspension platform. It's going to be a RockShox Revelation up front, and I believe it's called a RockShox Monarch shock out back. Now what's interesting about this bike is it's based on the Superior XF, which is a cross-country bike, but this one's been stroked out with longer travel figures to be a super sprightly trail bike. And after that quick lap, I can tell you one thing's for certain. This is a very energetic and sprightly trail bike. So what does it mean to have a cross-country bike that's overstroked? Well, it does change things from your average trail bike. It means that the wheelbase is shorter, so you're more agile and quick around corners, but a little less stable when you aim downhill. So for places like where I ride out in Bentonville, I would say this is like a perfect candidate because we don't really descend for extended periods of time, and there are a lot of tight switchbacks. Now digging into the component specs a little bit, just like I said earlier, all three models share the exact same suspension platform, and where you get the differences are going to be in drivetrain, brakes, wheels, and even tires. Starting with tires, it's the same Knobby Nick 2.4 on all three models, but on the top spec you do get a slightly better, tackier tire compound. On both the 979 and 999, the two higher spec models, you get DT Swiss wheels. The M1900 DT Swiss wheels, which are fantastic wheels. Whereas the XF 929 TR gets an in-house branded wheel with Shimano hubs. All good wheels though. Yoo-hoo! Oh, this is so good. Really moving. It's a great bike for this. So the rear triangle of this bike is actually what they call flex stay, meaning there's no pivots in and around, the chain stays and seat stays. It's a solid triangle piece with some engineered flex in it. And it makes the rear end of this bike want to pop you. So if you like those poppy bikes, you'll love this thing. It also bodes well for climbing efficiency. Feels a little bit more like a hardtail than your average full suspension. And we can't speak on efficiency without talking about drivetrains. All three models have a Shimano 12-speed drivetrain of some variant. You get Deore on the 929. 979, which is the one I'm on now, has a mixture of SLX and XT. And then the big dog, the 9999, has full-blown XT. So depending on how prestigious your taste buds are, you may decide on either three models. As far as the brakes are concerned, the 929 and the 979 have the same Shimano Deore level 4 pots front and rear, but on the 9999 you get upgraded to XT 4 pots with Icetech rotors, so it looks really bling bling. All right, so again, all three models have the exact same frame, so how they jump should feel similar no matter which one you're aboard. So we're just gonna run through this little jump line and see how things go. Oh yeah, this is sick. The absolute Bentonville Slayer right here. So good. So good, I had to do it twice. As you can see, I did the bike switcheroo. We're on the 979 now, the blue. Oh my gosh. The bike just rolls, dude. These are so fun. I'm gonna get into some tech now, and this one is the 929, the entry spec of the Carbon series. And I figure if this one can handle it, they all can. Feels pretty good so far. There's a lot less rolling resistance than you would experience on something like the Siskiyou T. It's a lot faster, but there's also less grip, so you have to be mindful of your line choices, and you don't want to get into anything too loose. Whew. Oh my gosh, this is spicy. But you do have to be more alert on a bike like this with the shorter wheelbase and the narrower bars. However, I would still say it did an awesome job.
So who is the Superior XF TR4? Over my days of testing and filming, I got to know the bikes pretty well, and here are my thoughts for the audience at home. With all three models being under 30 pounds, the Superior XF TR absolutely shines in the climbs as well as the smoother flow tracks. I couldn't wipe the smile off of my face when running Bentonville's many jump lines. The bike is incredibly fast and has virtually no rolling resistance. Its energetic suspension platform made clearing jumps quite effortless, and that sensation is addictive. Where the Superior XF TR is more likely to meet its limitations are on the more gnarly tech trails. This is due to the fact that the shorter wheelbase and lighter tire spec simply aren't intended for these conditions. That's not to say it can't hang on the tech trails or do big features, because it absolutely can. Riders just need to be prepared to choose smarter lines and be more alert than they would aboard a gnarly long travel enduro bike. Overall, I'd say the Superior XF TR is for the downcountry enthusiast or trail rider looking for an efficient, agile, and light trail bike to accompany them on a variety of single-track trails. And that goes for all three models. Let your taste for components as well as your budget help you decide which one suits you best, because I don't think you can go wrong either way.
Alrighty folks, that's gonna wrap it up for today. That is all three models of the Superior XF TR Carbon lineup of trail bikes. If you have any questions at all, make sure to leave those in the comments below. As always, like this video and subscribe for more content just like this. I'm your host, Jared with Bikes Online, and I'll see you around.